tonight. It's a unisex restroom. If you voted for Trump, that means anybody can use it. I'm not afraid of a Trump joke because we only have 3 stars on Yelp anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it has a sign on the front that says use your room key to enter. That's fake news. You just walk right on in. They put that sign up when 5 weeks ago a lady gave birth in the bathroom. I know. I ran in, I grabbed the baby, bit off the umbilical cord, we put it in the Ferryman on Broadway, and they get Broadway stars here at the Green Room 42. Half of that story is true. There are some lovely servers floating around to help you if you need service during the show, but also on the side of your lamp is a very tacky laminated sticker. You can go to the website on there, I laminated it myself. You can go to the website there on your iPhone or your Samsung Galaxy if you live in 2008, and you can order food and drink to your table and even pay with Apple Pay without ever having to talk to a human. I know! And if you're like me and just had a latte, a CBD gummy, and a beta blocker, not having to talk to a human is a wonderful thing. This half of the room knows what I'm talking about. This half of the room, Catholic. The use of photography or recording of any kind is strictly encouraged here at the Green Room 42, so tag us in it, tag your friends in it. I know, it's what a wonderful audience we have here tonight. It's like a Phantom of the Opera State of the Union. We left 3 cast members somewhere else, just in case something bad happened to the hummus. Phantom of the Opera can go on tomorrow night. Other than that, thanks all for coming out. At the Green Room 42, there's no food and beverage minimum ever at any of our shows, and our ticket prices, no matter who's performing, always start lower than a Rush ticket, so that way our audiences can be as young, artistic, and diverse as the work that you see on the stage. So thanks for being a part of that. That's exciting. I've talked long enough, but you're in for an absolute treat this evening. There's amazing talent about to grace this stage, and you all are so lucky to be here. I guarantee you, it's the best evening you're going to have here in New York City. I need you to get rowdy. I need you to get raucous, and welcome to the stage, the one, the only, 42nd Street Sweetheart, Broadway's Elizabeth Welch!
She said to me, "Que sera, sera, whatever will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be." When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart what lies ahead. Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. She asks her mother, what will I be? Will I be rich? I tell her tenderly. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. Que sera, this means the world to me. Gosh, there are so many of you here. I really hope I made enough casserole. It means a lot to me to have you here because tonight this show is a tribute to my mother, Lindsay Antle, and it's a celebration of the woman that I have become with the help of her guidance and her wisdom. And it's a charity benefit for Broadway Hearts, which is a beautiful, beautiful charity, and we're going to hear a lot more about that later. But for now, I have something that I would like to share with you tonight. In 1997, My mother gave me this recipe box, this very one. And with it, she passed down cherished recipes, bits of wisdom, tons of love. And I would like to share some of those recipes with you tonight, starting with her angel biscuits. These were legendary, but being from the South, her plain old biscuits were not bad either. She says, biscuits, not angel, but heavenly. Orange kiss me cake. Doesn't that seem dreamy? Kiss me cake. Oh, here we go. Coca-Cola salad. This may seem a little bit confusing to some of you. It may not seem like cream cheese, mayonnaise, Jell-O, and Coca-Cola could come together to create anything remotely edible or resembling a salad. But through the miracle of mother science, somehow it works. Now, she taught me more than how to cook. I also have some of her recipes for life. Some are basic life skills like how to fold a fitted sheet, how to strip and hang wallpaper, just basic things that we already know. Everyone can fold a fitted sheet properly, yes? Oh dear. We'll talk about that later. More importantly, my mother taught me how to sew from a butterick pattern. Now, I have used these life skills countless times, but I didn't realize how they would help me put my life back together when it completely crumbled, like the topping on that delicious coffee cake that she would serve at ladies' breakfasts. And speaking of coffee cake, growing up, I always wanted to be a housewife and a homemaker. This truly was my dream. I wanna get married. Yes, I need a spouse. I want a nice, leave it to Beaverish golden retriever and a little White House. I wanna get married. I need to cook meals. I wanna pack cute little lunches for my Brady lunches and read Danielle Steele. I wanna escape this rat race I've created. I'm feeling elevated. I don't care if I make it, I just want to break the sugar cake for you to take to work in the morning while I stay home cleaning the dishes and keeping your wishes all warm. I wanna get married. That's why I was born. Now I have something I need your help with, if you don't mind. I have been working on a new recipe for coffee cupcakes. And I would love for you all to try them, please. If you would just take them and pass them along. Remember to share. Please give me your honest opinion. This is important. I wanna partake in bake sales for the classroom. I wanna hear the sweet tune of Sally's little room as she zooms around Zeski on the drums. Joe Wallace on the bass. Tom Longo on the guitar and the mandolin. And our fantastic music director, Jeff Cox, at the piano. Without these wonderful people. Well, it might surprise you to hear, my dream did not come true. Sadly, I'm not a housewife. In part because I no longer have a husband. And it's really challenging to be a housewife without one of those. But also, as I grew up, I wanted more. I wanted the bake sales and the lunches, but I also wanted to sing. And I wanted a career. I wanted it all, frankly. I am, like my mother before me, a feminine feminist. What does this mean? There is no definition in the dictionary, unfortunately, so I wrote my own. And next to that definition, you will see Lindsay Sue Antle, my mother. This classy, elegant woman knew exactly how to be a homemaker and care for her family. But also, well, generations of women before her gave her all of the information she needed to know, obviously. But Lindsay was of a generation of pioneers. These brave women paved the way for us to step outside of our roles at home and into what was, and let's face it, still is, a man's world. She had an incredible career. I want to walk you through her resume for a moment. Now, this will take some time. It goes on and on and on, so I'll just give you the highlights. She was a sign language interpreter, one of the best. She was an educator, an administrator. She started and directed interpreter training programs. She wrote millions of dollars in grants, and. She did it. But just because she succeeded with this feminist masterpiece of a career does not mean she didn't enjoy the feminine side of her as well. She showed me that we can be more than just this. Never judge a book by its cover. The thing that counts is what's inside. Never judge a lady by her lover. It isn't a reliable guide. The lady may decide her obligation is merely to reflect his expectation. If his idea of ecstasy is to see what he expects to see, well, ignorance is bliss. But think of what he'll miss. She was smart, tart, dry as a martini. But underneath, something like Puccini. But underneath the depths of her interior fears, she was inferior and something even eerier. But no one dared to query her superior exterior. She was chic, sleek, everything in fashion. That was just a shell. Take her close, you could see the passion. That was one as well. To conclude, you'd soon discover the secret of her appeal was the wonder which lay underneath, which she wasn't about to reveal. She was grand, bland, brave or brisk or brittle, anything required, both concerned and strictly non-committal, and a little tired. a mother. And thanks to that angel who taught me the love of music, I have an incredible career. I sing for a living on Broadway in the Phantom of the Opera. But, true confessions, my favorite musical of all time is The Music Man. So of course I had to have a barbershop quartet in my show, so I'd like to introduce to you my quartet: Jacob Keith Watson, Jeremy Stoll, Colin Anderson, and joining us tonight with only a day's notice, Danny Rothman. Thank you so much. I got to clean up my mess. Good gracious.
Light a rose, I'm a home again rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Light a rose, I'm home again rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fun. Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose.
Dream of now. Dream of a love song that might have been. I love you. Oh yes, I love you. And I'll bravely tell you, but only when we dream again. Sweet and low, sweet and low. How sweet that memory, how long ago. Forever, oh yes, forever. Will I ever tell you? I know.
Light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose, I'm home again rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Light a rose, I'm home again rose, 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, fancy or fine.
Will I you. This is just such a gift. Barbershop Quartet serenade. Oh, my stars. Well, here's what's cooking. Let's see. A career. Now, what's the recipe for a good career? Follow your heart and do what you love. Well, my heart wanted to sing. So I went to school for singing, and though musicals were my first love, I started in a classical program, and so my career kind of started in opera. Now at some point, I crossed back over to music theater. It ended up being a pretty good career move, but I did miss Mozart. There he is, my boyfriend. So I'm wondering if it's possible to cross back over to where I crossed to after I had crossed over from where I am now. May I have a moment? Maybe two. I've been waiting for forever for this night, and my tummy is a flutter, so I hope that I won't stutter in my intimate desire to delight. Let me show you all the many things that I can do, all the roles and all the ranges I can play. May I, with your kind permission, share a kiss audition? Just a little operette called the buffet. Nice throw. What do you think? City Opera. That, I'm just saying. It's an audition, if I can say so myself. So right now, I'm going to give the band a little break, and I'm I'm going to play guitar. Because why not? I can totally do that. I'll play guitar. I'm even going to plug it in so y'all can hear it plugging it in. I did it! Okay. Well, I bought this little guitar for myself as a signing bonus when I booked Christine Daae in Das Phantom, the German version of Phantom. And I had grand intentions of mastering the guitar while I was there. But while I was in Germany, my marriage ended. And I just kind of didn't want to play guitar anymore. As you now know, I identified as a wife and a mother. And my husband was no longer, and my baby girl was an ocean away. So welcome to my midlife crisis and my existential crisis. I had no idea who I was. None. I've never wanted to be single. I didn't know how. It was not my plan. My example was my parents' marriage, which lasted 54 years. Woo! So at one point, during my self-discovery as Elizabeth, outside of Tim and Elizabeth, my mom said to me, I hope that you find someone that you want to spend the next 50 years with. There's a man who's been out sailing in a decade full of dreams, and he takes her to a schooner, and he treats her like a queen, bearing beads from California with their amber stones and green. He has called her from the harbor, he has kissed her with his freedom, he has heard her off to starboard, the breaking and the breathing of the water weeds, while she was busy being free. Here's a man who sent a letter, he is waiting for a reply. He has asked her of her travels since the day they said goodbye. He writes, wish you were beside me, we can make it if we try. She has seen him at the office with her name on all his papers. Through the sharing of the profits, he will find it hard to shake her from his memory. And she's so busy being free. There's a lady in the city, and she thinks she loves them all. There's the one who's thinking of her. There's the one who sometimes calls. There's the one who writes her letters with his facts and figures scrawled. She has brought them to her senses. They have laughed inside her laughter. Now she rallies her defenses, for she fears that one will ask her for eternity. And she's so busy being free. There's a man who sends her medals. He is bleeding from the war. There's a jouster and a jester and a man who owns a store. There's a drummer and a dreamer, and you know there may be more. She will love them when she sees them. They will lose her if they follow, and she only means to please them. And her heart is full and hollow like a cactus tree. And she's so busy being free. Like a cactus tree. time I've ever played guitar in front of people in my life. So, my mother described herself as a terminally optimistic woman. Well, it was during that time when I was grieving the loss of my marriage that we found out that she had cancer. I'm a pretty strong gal, I think, but I was not strong enough to handle that. But my mother taught me to sew. So I whipped up a quick Superwoman costume and I pretended to be strong because I still had to care for my big girl. And I still had to stand on stage every night and sing Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. Which was, I guess, cathartic, but more so just cruel. And what made it really hard for me to be strong was that I just knew that she wasn't going to survive. I just knew. But that terminally optimistic woman needed hope. So I've come to sing a song about hope. I'm not inspired much right now, but even so, I've come out here to sing a song, so here I go. I guess I think that if I tinker long enough, one might appear. And look, it's here. One verse is done. The work's begun. I've come to sing a song about hope. In spite of everything ridiculous and sad, though I'm beyond belief depressed, confused, and mad. Well, I got dressed. I underestimated how much that would take. I didn't break. Until right now, I sing of hope and don't know how. So maybe I can substitute strength because I'm strong enough. I go through lots of things I didn't think I could. And so did you. I know that's true. And so we sing a song about hope. Though I can't guarantee there's something real behind it, I have to try to show my daughter I can find it. And so today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. Fear never wins. That's what I hope. See, I said hope. The work begins. That when your child says, I need my mommy, you're there. And she was. She sat and listened to me bitch about my divorce and how sad I was when she was getting chemo. And I'm not proud of that. But because of that, I was able to sit with her at the end in a time when she really needed a mommy. I learned to step outside of myself and my problems and to show up for people who are also in pain. And that was my lifeline. That's what pulled me out and through the darkest times. Which leads me to Broadway Hearts. This incredible organization I'm so honored to be a part of, and it has truly saved my heart. And I would like our founder, Jessica Radetsky, to come up and tell you.
I mean, oh God, you are glorious. Okay, so I won't take long. For those of you who are not familiar with Broadway Hearts, we are a children's hospital outreach and art scholarship nonprofit. The initial idea for Broadway Hearts came from a Make-A-Wish child canceling her visit to see Phantom. It left me with this sort of ache that I couldn't shake. And that was not on purpose. And I realized that I sort of focused on the idea of how could I bring a version of that wish to children like her. So I'm happy to say that 2 years later, we are in multiple hospitals and the Ronald McDonald House. We are represented by most shows on Broadway, and we are soon to be expanding to other cities as well. A visit can include an informal sing-along, a live stream broadcast into the children's rooms if they're too ill to join us in the room, a private visit to the kids' rooms as well. Our main objective is always to make it as interactive and as fun as possible. These kids are amazing. So the effect that bringing music to these children had, we soon realized that we could do so much more. So our scholarship program was born. We now offer an in-home art scholarship post-treatment of any art that the child loves, be it music, dance, singing, fine art, writing, whatever will maximize their human potential and enrich their quality of life. Broadway Hearts would not exist without the generosity of everyone involved. So many people over there. And so, I mean, honestly, these children have changed our lives, completely changed our lives. And so I'm going to now appeal to all of you to help us change theirs. You all have envelopes on your tables with all the various ways that we accept donations. There are many. We would be so, so grateful for anything that you could possibly give. This sounds like Broadway Care speech, but it's not. Every dime will go towards our scholarship program. Elizabeth has so beautifully dedicated this evening to her lovely Lindsay. Broadway Hearts is dedicated to my father, Peter, who I lost to pancreatic cancer. He was the greatest source of joy in my life, and I think that Elizabeth feels the same when I say that our goal with Broadway Hearts is to bring as much joy as we possibly can to these incredibly courageous and inspiring children, and that we feel honored to get to share what's in our hearts with them. So thank you, and back to this gorgeous creature.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you, one face that lights when it nears you, one heart you're everything to. Fame, if you win it, it comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. upset about your problems when you're having a dance party with a 3-year-old with brain cancer. Just one small act of kindness can change lives and can change the world. And that's what you and your donations are doing tonight. And we're so grateful. Fame, if you win it, it comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. And once you've found them, build your world around them. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy too. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. I drink a cup of coffee and I don't mind telling you I drink 40 cups of coffee. I'm 39, 40 cups of coffee. I drink 40 cups of coffee just to get me through the day. I'll tell you why. 'Cause at 5:45, alarm bell rings. I drink a cup of coffee and my daughter starts to sing. She drinks 40 cups of coffee. It's true. 40 cups of coffee. I drink 40 cups of coffee just to get me through the day. Take it away, boys! Go on, boys. Let's hear it. The show must go on, so I drink a cup of coffee while I put my makeup on. I drink 40 cups of coffee. 40 cups of coffee. I drink 40 cups of coffee just to get me through the Thank you. True story. At least 40, I should say. All right, so here's what's cooking up, a little bit of reality. You never stop worrying about your child. Well, I don't really have to worry about my child because she's kind of cooked. She's amazing. She's smart, she's kind, she's wonderful. But I still worry because that's a mother's job, and any job doing is worth doing well. You know, like that terrible, awful witch in Rapunzel, you know? She kept her child locked away in a tower, far away, safe and sound, so that no one would ever harm her. So I really relate to that. Vivian says, oh, hey, can I go play Frisbee at the park? And I'm like, ha. You want to go outside? Look at you, as fragile as a flower. Still a little sapling, just a sprout. You know why we stay up in this tower, that's right, to keep you safe and sound, dear. Guess I always knew this day was coming. Knew that soon you'd want to leave the nest. Soon, but not yet. Shh, trust me, pet. Mother knows best. Mother knows best. Listen to your mother. It's a scary world out there. Mother knows best. One way or another, something will go wrong. I swear. Ruffians, thugs, poison ivy, quicksand, cannibals and snakes, the plague. Yep. Also, large bugs, men with pointy teeth, and stop no more. You'll just upset me. Mother's right here. Mother will protect you. Darling, here's what I suggest. Skip the drama. Stay with Mama. Mother knows best. Go ahead, get trampled by a rhino. Go ahead, get mugged and left for dead. Me, I'm just your mother. What do I know? I only bathed and changed and nursed you. Go ahead and leave me. I deserve it. Let me die alone here, be my guest. When it's too late, you'll see. Just wait. Mother knows best. Mother knows best. Take it from your mumsy. On your own, you won't survive. Sloppy, underdressed, immature, clumsy, please. They'll eat you up alive. Gullible, naive, positively grubby, ditzy, and a bit vague. Plus, I believe you're getting kind of chubby. I'm just saying, 'cause I love you. Mother understands. Mother's here to help you. All I have is one request. Never ask to leave again. I love you. Don't forget it. You'll regret it. Mother knows best. Well, here's something important I learned. If you work hard, you can do whatever you dream. Well, I dreamed of being Christine Daae one day, and look at me now! In Das Phantom der Oper. And for those of you who don't know, which is probably about 7 of you, I will explain how many Christines there are in any company of Phantom. There is the principal, who does it 6 times a week, our darling Katie Voorhees, and she's here. The alternate, who does it twice a week, Erin McCoy. And the cover, who fills in whenever one of them is sick or on vacation. Now, in my time with Phantom, I have been the principal, the alternate, and the understudy. Currently, I'm the cover, which is a pretty sweet gig for a working mom, if I must be honest. The only frustrating thing is when people say, "When are you going on?" I'd really like to buy tickets. I mean, I'm flying in. When can I see you, please? And I smile, and in my head, I'm saying, I won't go on. I will never play Christine. Never wear the pretty dresses. They will never think of me. I won't go on. I'll just rehearse it all the time. I'll pass on all the speakers and just wish that it were mine. Oh, the girls I cover are so strong. They never call out sick, and so I sing this song. I won't go on, never go on, never go on. Not me. But I would never say that, of course. I'm quite polite. So, the truth of the matter is, anything can happen, right? So I very honestly say to these lovely people, I might go on, 'cause you never really know. She might feel a little queasy, or might slip and break her toe. I might go on, but I would never break her legs. Never wish she lost her voice, or get sick on rotten eggs, which I may or may not have put in her salad because that bitch never takes a vacation. My friends flying in from Colorado who really want to see me play Christine. Now they can't see Phantom, so they're just hanging out in Times Square with that Elmo. Oh gosh, it's hard to be upset with her because of course we love her. I mean, Team Christine and everything, we're really supportive. I feel kind of badly now. Oh God, she's eating the salad. Oh girl, you don't look so good. I think you should probably go home. Oh no, 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 it's okay. That's what I'm here for. So if you buy a ticket, you might see a pretty little songbird by the name of me. Maybe I'm sorry you don't feel well. Would you like some tea? Maybe I should probably warm up my iced tea. Because I might go on. I'll maybe go on. I'm probably gonna go on. Great. They're gonna put on the alternate. I wonder if she likes egg salad. Let's see. All right, so as we know, she said, if you work hard, you can do whatever you dream. My mom knew I dreamed of singing. She knew I was a hard worker, and she knew that I was painfully shy. I did not like standing up in front of people and speaking or singing. Thank God I got over that. But with a little bit of tough love, I asked for voice lessons, and she said, no. No. Not until you get over your fear and you sing a solo in church. So I did. Church was a very safe place for me to get over my stage fright because it was the foundation of my family. And my mom's faith was the cornerstone of her life. She did not want her funeral to be about her and her accomplishments and how great she was. She wanted it to be a service of gratitude and praise for the one who saw her through it all. And just in case any of us got wild hair of standing up at her funeral and being like, my mom's so great, we love her, this is my favorite thing about Lindsay, she planned the whole funeral herself. She wanted her favorite hymns, and she wanted a gospel quartet, but so many people in the choir loved her that she had a gospel choir, which is really beautiful. But I just happen to have a gospel quartet with me. We might as well use them and make kind of her dreams come true. I had R.G. Huff, my dear minister of music, write an arrangement of some of her favorite hymns. And of course, he included a part for the congregation. That's you. Woo! So I will have the words up here on the screen, and I would love for y'all to sing along. We're fixing to take y'all to church. You better sing. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand,
as I live to the pilgrim land towards the setting of the sun. He sails to the land, the rest of God's grace of life and love. Yes, be my baby Lord. we can see it far, where the Father waits over the way to prepare me a dwelling place there in the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall meet on that beautiful shore. Sunday morning when the sun is over, I'll fly away to the home across the western shore. I'll fly away. Again, my band, Joe Wallace on the bass, and Tristan Mazetsky on the drums. Thank you to my musical director, Marty Ross. Thank you so much to Room 42, all of the wait staff, Daniel, everybody. You are so incredible. Lucky for me, I wrote this down just in case I forgot them, because I cannot forget anybody. Thank you notes are very important. So we have Gia doing our live stream. Woo! And Ashley, Howie taking pictures, everybody helping to record this and share it with the people who can't be here. Louis Panulo, thank you. You support the arts and you support us so much and you set all of this up. Thank you. You're just so generous. I have to give a shout out to Levi for my promo shots. Weren't they amazing? Yeah. Jessica Radetsky, Broadway Hearts is such a beautiful I'm honored to be a part of it. My friends,
gonna cry. All of you out there, my friends carried me through, picked me up literally off the floor, and loved me back to life. And I'm so grateful. Let's have a round of applause for her. Very not least, there are sponsors of this show who helped me put this on. They loved my mom. They supported my family through it all, and we have some of them here, and I'm so grateful, and some out there on the live stream. Thank you, thank you. You just made all the difference in the world, so thanks to them. Casserole. I really wanted to give an individual thank you note to all of you. I was told it was impractical, so I didn't do it, but I regret it. So, moments before the show, as I was sitting backstage, I jotted out a few quick ones, just in case I had this feeling like I needed to thank you personally. So, here we are, dear front row. Thank you for being such gracious guinea pigs for my coffee cupcakes. I really appreciate it. I hope you liked them. Dear booth people sitting over there, thank you for creating such a sense of community. That's what the world needs right now, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Dear back row. I see you. You may feel far away, but I feel you up here, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
We got you.
And everyone, thank you for the laughter and the tears and the raucous applause. Your standing ovation really meant the world to me. No pressure. This is a little awkward. I wasn't planning on that. Guess I make mistakes too. Little did I know. Okay, confession time. I do make mistakes. As much as I would like to believe that Mother knows best, I have no idea what I'm doing. I make it up every day. The only thing that I know is that I love my girl, and I try. But I mess up every day. Let's take this show, for example. It's a show about being a good mother. And it's kind of been a lot of work. And more times than I would like to admit, my daughter has opened up the fridge to condiments and a shriveled up orange. That's all I have for her to eat. But I try. You know, I love her and I try. I lean on the wisdom of my parents, and I lean on the wisdom of my friends with children, and they lean on me for some reason. And we all support each other, but we're all just leaning. We don't really know. So I take great comfort in my mother's recipe for parenting, which is just love them. Do the best that you can, and pray that God takes care of the rest. How do you say to your child in the night, nothing's all black, but then nothing's all white? How do you say it will all be alright when you know that it might not be true? What do you do? Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look Don't slip away and I won't hold so tight. What can you say that no matter how slight won't be misunderstood? What do you leave to your child when you're dead? Only whatever you put in its head. Things that your mother and father have said that were left to them too. Careful what you say, children will listen. Careful you do it too, children will see and learn. Guide them, but step away, children will glisten. Tamper with what is true, and children will turn, if just to be free. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Children will listen. Children will listen. I won't make you wait that long because, you know, the waiters have to leave. Get up now, get up now, get up now. Your clothes and your shoes, hear the words I said. Get up now, get in the bed, go to bed. Are you hot, are you cold, are you wearing that? Where's your locus in your lunch and your homework? Grab your coat, your scarf, and your gloves and hat. Don't forget, you're gonna see that God eat your breakfast first time. It's the most important meal of all. Take your vitamins so you will grow up one day to be big and tall. Don't forget, the orthodontist will be seeing you at 3 today. Don't forget your piano lesson is this afternoon, so you must play. Don't shovel too slowly, but hurry. The bus is here, be careful. Come back here. Did you wash? Make sure your ears play outside. Don't play rough, will you just play fair? Be polite, make a friend. Don't forget to share. Work it out. Wait your turn, never take a dare. Get along. Don't make it come down here. Clean your room, cook the rolls, put your shuffle away. Make your bed, do it now. We don't have all day. Were you born in a barn? Do you want some hay? Do you even hear a word I say? Answer the phone, get on the phone. Toasting up the tree. Your iPhone's my iPhone. If you don't listen, I'm going with whom and what time do you think you're coming? Say, can you please excuse me? Makes you welcome everywhere you go. You'll appreciate my wisdom someday when you're older and you're good. Can't wait for you to have a couple little brats. I mean, children of your own. You'll thank me for the counsel I give you so willingly. But right now, I thank you not to roll your eyes and close your mouth when you chew. I'd appreciate it. Take a bite, maybe two of the stuff you hate. Use your fork, do not burp, or I'll set you straight. Eat the food. I've been on your plate. Get an A, get the door. Don't be smart. Get a grip, get over here. I'll count 2, 3. Get a job, get life, get a PhD. And go so high. Don't get me started. You're grounded until you're 36. Just work straight until the truth for once, for heaven's sake. And if all your friends jumped off the cliff, would you jump too? I've said it once, I've said it at least 1,000 times before. You're too old to act this way. It must be your father's DNA. You and I don't stand up straighter when you walk a place for everything and everything must be in place. Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Wash
wash your face, brush your teeth, get your teeth, jump up and get a hug.